It was supposed to be just another quiet afternoon in finals week. Students packed into a classroom, stressed about grades, flipping through notes for an introductory economics exam review. And then, at 4:05 p.m. inside a Brown University building, that ordinary moment shattered. More than 40 shots fired. 2 students killed. 9 wounded. An Ivy League campus on full lockdown. Today, we're breaking down exactly what happened during the Brown University mass shooting on December 13, 2025, the first mass shooting at an Ivy League university in recent history. Who is the person of interest now in custody? How did the attack unfold? And what does this tragedy say about gun violence, campus safety, and a generation that has already survived multiple school shootings? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, we're not just going to talk about what happened, we're going to talk about what it means. Let's start with the basics. Date: Saturday, December 13, 2025. Location: Brown University, Providence, Rhode Island. Building: Barus and Holley, home to Brown's School of Engineering and the Physics Department. Room 166. It's late afternoon during final exam week. Room 166 is hosting a review session for an introductory economics class run by a teaching assistant for Professor Rachel Friedberg. The building is unlocked, like most campus buildings are during exams. Students are thinking about grades, internships, and their future careers, not survival. And then, at 4:05 p.m. EST, a gunman enters and opens fire. Witnesses and investigators say the shooter fired more than 40 rounds of 9mm ammunition. Inside that one classroom, students drop to the floor. Some try to hide behind desks. Others run for the exits if they can. Later, police recover 2 loaded 30-round magazines, both still containing ammunition. The immediate toll is devastating. 2 students are killed. 9 people are wounded by gunfire, and at least 8 of the victims, including the 2 who died, are Brown students. All 9 injured victims are rushed to Rhode Island Hospital. By early Sunday morning, 1 patient is in critical condition, and 6 others are in critical but stable condition. In just a few minutes, a normal exam review session has turned into one of the darkest days in Brown University's history. At 4:15 p.m., about 10 minutes after the shooting begins, Brown University issues a campus-wide alert: active shooter on campus. The campus goes into full lockdown. Across Brown, students barricade classroom doors with chairs and tables. Others hide in closets, bathrooms, or under desks. Group chats and messages begin to flood with "Where are you? Are you safe? Lock the door. Stay quiet." At one point, there are reports of a second shooting near Governor's Street. Those reports are later retracted by authorities. It turns out there was no second attack. But in those moments, no one knows what's real and what isn't. All they know is this: someone has opened fire on their campus, and they don't know if it's over. Very quickly, police focus on a single suspect. The description: a male, possibly in his 30s, wearing all black or dark gray, with gray camouflage clothing, seen on video leaving the building from the Hope Street side. Authorities initially aren't certain exactly what weapon was used, but they believe it's an unidentified handgun, later connected to 9mm rounds. The law enforcement response is massive. Over 400 officers from agencies across Rhode Island, plus support from the FBI and the ATF. The normally open, historic College Hill neighborhood turns into a heavily policed search zone. Streets are blocked. Tactical units are deployed. Students remain locked inside buildings for hours. Finally, on Sunday morning, Providence police announce
a person of interest has been detained at a Hampton Inn in Coventry, a nearby town. The individual had a firearm with a unique characteristic matching what investigators were looking for. Police say they are not seeking any additional suspects. After that announcement, Brown lifts its shelter-in-place order for the full campus. The lockdown ends. The fear doesn't. In the wake of the shooting, Brown University makes a decision that underlines just how serious this tragedy is. Provost Francis J. Doyle III announces that all remaining academic activities for the fall 2025 semester are canceled. That includes undergraduate classes, graduate and medical school classes, exams, papers, and projects. Students are told they are free to leave campus if they are able, and that the priority now is the care, safety, and emotional well-being of the community. Brown University President Christina Paxson describes the hours after the shooting as filled with stress and anxiety, and she calls the day an unimaginably tragic day. Behind the scenes, Brown's staff and administrators are working through the night, coordinating with law enforcement to evacuate thousands of students from within the police perimeter, moving them to safe locations like the Olney and Margolis Athletic Center and nearby hotels. For one of the oldest universities in the United States, the seventh oldest, with about 11,000 students, this isn't just a disruption, it's a full stop. The impact of the shooting spreads far beyond Providence. Across the country, leaders and institutions react. Former President Trump issues a statement offering condolences, saying, "God bless the victims and the families of the victims." Other universities, especially fellow Ivy League schools like Columbia University and Cornell University, release statements condemning the attack and expressing support and sympathy for Brown's community. In the national media, the story gains intense coverage, not only because it is yet another mass shooting, but because it happened at an Ivy League university. It occurred during final exam week, and it hits right at the heart of the debate about guns, safety, and public spaces in the United States. There's another layer to this story that makes it even more painful. The day after the Brown shooting marks the 13th anniversary of the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting. The anti-gun violence nonprofit Sandy Hook Promise points out something chilling. Many of today's college students were in elementary school when Sandy Hook happened. They grew up with lockdown drills, a constant stream of school shooting headlines, and a sense that violence could break out anywhere, even in a classroom. And at Brown, this isn't just a symbolic connection, it's a lived reality. Reports reveal that at least 2 current Brown students had already survived previous school shootings, Mia Tretta and Zoe Weissman. Zoe Weissman, now a sophomore at Brown, survived the 2018 Parkland High School shooting. She describes the Brown attack as infuriating and emotionally overwhelming, saying, "Mentally, I feel like I'm 12 again. This feels exactly how I felt in 2018. Zoe says she is determined to speak out about the psychological impact of repeated gun violence. Think about that for a moment. A student who survived a high school mass shooting goes on to attend one of the most prestigious universities in the world and lives through another mass shooting on her campus. This isn't just about one incident. It's about a generation that is being asked to process the same trauma over and over again. Now, let's talk about policy. Rhode Island is not one of the most lenient states when it comes to guns. In June 2025, just months before the Brown shooting, the state passed tougher gun control measures, including a ban on ghost guns and a ban on high-capacity magazines. According to Everytown for Gun Safety, Rhode Island is ranked 13th in the U.S. for the strength of its gun laws. And yet, 2 people are dead, 9 are injured, and an Ivy League campus joins the long list of places marked by gunfire. This raises some difficult questions. Are current gun laws enough? Is the problem in enforcement?
Or is the broader gun culture in the U.S. so deeply entrenched that even relatively strong laws can't prevent every tragedy? Sandy Hook Promise uses this moment to call on leaders at all levels to support stronger gun policies. But as always in the U.S., the debate is polarized. Some argue for stricter regulations and more comprehensive background checks. Others warn against what they see as an erosion of Second Amendment rights. Meanwhile, students and faculty are left to face the immediate human cost long before any policy changes, if any, ever become reality. So, where does this leave Brown University? And what does it mean for other campuses? Right now, Brown is a community in mourning, a campus trying to process the loss of 2 students' lives and a symbol of how even elite, historically safe institutions are not immune to America's gun